Mohammed, welcome. Today marks 3 years since Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu took the seat as President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He took the oath of office on May 29, 2023. How has Nigeria fared under his leadership? Politicians are starting to take advantage of the transfer window opened by the judgment of Justice Mohammed Umar of the Federal High Court, Abuja. Just yesterday, former Deputy Senate President Ovieomo Agege announced his move to the National Democratic Congress. How many more will choose to move in the coming days? As many people are asking, will Ned Nwoko also move? And that will almost tear Delta State apart. Atiku Abubakar is also making moves to attract those who lost to him in the ADC primaries. Will Rotimi Amechi, former governor of Rivers State, and Mohammed Hayatou Dean, a business mogul, accept defeat formally and join the upcoming campaigns for Atiku Abubakar using the platform of the ADC? And the National Democratic Congress holds its primaries today across Nigeria. It was shifted due to the Eid celebrations. What is the picture out there? We have a guest, the National Publicity Secretary of the NDC, Comrade Osa Director, who will join us on the program. The bigger one, High Chief Raymond Alego Dokpesi, was not just a media mogul, he was a great political mobilizer, and everybody know it. On top of the hill here, where we worked for several years with him, you see a lot of activities. He was not one who would shy away from taking action when the political knocks on the door comes to his doors. Exactly 3 years today, since he passed on, we today review his achievement, particularly in the political arena, and his foray into the media that has changed the face of broadcasting in Nigeria. My colleagues are here. Uju Ejeye, thank you for joining us.
Ahiria, it's, I don't know, it's just like yesterday. You know, we were in the studio presenting a program when the news came that our late chairman, something suddenly has happened. It was like, no, we saw him this morning about 9 o'clock, and this was about after 10, 11. So what happened? But such is life, the way of all mortals, and the pain of losing him is still there. But we thank God, he was a revolutionist, you know, he revolutionized the broadcast industry from the usual drab equipment and everything. He brought super FM broadcasts to this country and showed them what FM broadcasting, you know, is truly like. And then, of course, the political space too was not left out. Remember when PDP was almost gone, and this man, you know, got up, started mobilizing, started going to the founders of the PDP. He revived the PDP. I mean, everybody saw the meetings and the way he was moving, going from state to state. I think the PDP owes him a lot, and now that he's no longer there, see where PDP has got to. Well, may he still continue to rest.
Amen. And when in 1992 the Nigeria broadcast, the Nigeria broadcasting space was liberalized, and the first license was issued out for the establishment of the first private radio station in Nigeria, many people didn't understand what that would mean for Nigeria broadcasting and the media generally. Dr. Amechi Anakwet, you're also here with us.
Thank you so much. Raymond Dokpesi was a colossus, a visionary. I rate him the first 5 in terms of those that will see the future. He talked about his political activities. You know where his stand will be. And I wonder where PDP would have been today if he were to be alive. Could he have prevented the split and the conflict and all that? Certainly, he would have done so much. He will continue to be missed. There is no Nigerian that has not had anything directly, prominent Nigerian, to do with him. He was everywhere, and he affected lives, and perhaps will continue to do so even in his absence.
And Mustafa Mohammed, I remember when you joined us in Alagbado, young, Martin, and I dragged you to the studio to join us on the production of Political Platform. when we started those early days. Political Platform actually was one. He would come to the studio to see how we are doing it. He would listen and call and critique and tell us what we did it do quite well and how we should, be very forthright in what we are doing. The boldness on the program was actually imbued in us by him, say it exactly how it is. Make sure that you are saying the truth, and that is very, very long ago, over 30 years?
Over 25 years ago. You remember that was my first job, and on the day I resumed, should I use the word you and others forced me on the microphone, and that was how we started rolling. The late Dr. C knows every staff by his first name. He was not just an employer, a boss, but he was also a friend and a father. He wanted to get involved in everything that was taking place so that there would be a success. And that was how he made the organization grow. He was also involved in manpower development. He had every information. You would think he was a spirit. And of course, even in death, his legacy stands or stood very tall.
Yeah, maybe I should say this for the first time publicly. I remember that myself, Adebayo Boduri, Ambrose Shomide, the three of us were always run into trouble. Abacha was in power, and we always come on the platform. Ambrose Shomide has his own style as a programmer, talk about issues, and on many occasions, the DSS will come, they will look for us, and he has a way of Chief Raymond Dokpesi always has a way of protecting us then. And the military then, they will waste you. And on 2 occasions, High Chief Raymond Dokpesi asked us to vacate the premises. Just leave, just go. I've already told them that you don't work here, we have sacked you, so that you can be protected. For a week or 2, we'll be out. And then he will call us and say, come back, I've spoken to them. The kind of cover that Chief Dokpesi provided for us then was what made us to be able to stand, because we knew that whatever thing we were saying, the government were probably not comfortable with it. But he will cover us up, he will protect us, he will tell us, don't worry, but always remain with the truth. Say the truth all the time. If you say it, it is difficult for anybody to pin you down. But he will not do just that. He will tell us when it's hot, just stay away for some time. Then he will say, come back, we have discussed, I've told them, you are fine, I've discussed with them. He provided a cover. So he was not an absentee media person who set up a place and just abandoned us. The foundation he laid is what has kept us here. And
what he did was what Bob Marley said, he who fights and runs away
lives to fight again.
You tell him the truth, he never gets angry with
No.
you.
So
you express your mind, he will then laugh over it and reply you.
It will be difficult to forget, and we don't forget. The memories are there, and we are happy that even Political Platform that was established just before him, Ladi Lawa, supervising of blessed memory, Kelly Elisha, all of them working to be sure that the program takes off well. And myself, who just came in from the Guardian newspaper, bloody newspaper man, and turned into a microphone-wielding reporter, were able to seize it up. And I'm glad that the program has gained the kind of confidence and prominence in the public that we can say today, whatever thing we say here, we'll take a look at it. I'm not saying that we cannot make mistakes, but even then we give you all the correct angles to all the reports and the stories, and that is why Political Platform is popular. I want to also thank all of you for staying with us over these years, for supporting us and giving us all the things that we need to keep us going. But we remember Chief Raymond Dokpesi every day, and it is not easy to really forget him. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll go into the analysis of the reports that we have for you today, and then we'll bring in our guests.
Whole new chapter in political discourse. The conversations that matter most are stepping into the spotlight like never before. Political platform, the hard-hitting, no-holds-barred program you have trusted on Ray Power Radio is making a powerful move to television. Tune in to Africa Independent Television, AIT, as political platform debuts on your screen, bringing deeper analysis, sharper debates, and the voices shaping our nation's future right into your screens. From policy and politics breakdowns to real-time discussions with key stakeholders, this is more than a program. It is where opinions are tested, truths are uncovered, and the people's voice is heard. Join seasoned hosts and expert guests as they tackle the issues that define our democracy. No filters, no distractions, just real talk. Political platform now on AIT, 9 to 10 a.m. every weekday. Stay informed, stay engaged, be part of the conversation.
Thank you for remaining with us on Political Platform. From his first major decision to remove fuel subsidy on the day of his swearing in, which was bold, and people have said it is commendable, to accusations of nepotism. They said he made nepotism pro-max. Nobody has done nepotism the way Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done it in the last 3 years in his appointments. The levels of insecurity and the standards of living in the country according to various local and international institutions. What do Nigerians really think about Tinubu, the Tinubu administration? Consider the major infrastructure decisions, such as the Calabar Coastal Road, the Badagry-Sokoto Highway, and the development of our seaports. The students' loans from the Nile Fund, which has eased education funding for parents. And what about the foreign loans and the growing concerns about transparency and accountability? Are we fighting corruption at all? Local contractors have been under the burden of unpaid loans and distress over unpaid jobs. How do you assess the efforts of the cleanup of the mess left behind by Muhammadu Buhari in the financial sector, the economy, and the ease of doing business? Many people don't remember some of these things, how much people were buying Naira on the road and the way the Naira was spiraling. You couldn't plan on the basis of the value of the Naira. It has largely been stabilized. The question is, how are the people feeling all these impacts? Colleagues?
Well, you started with the successes, and I must agree to it. The stabilization of the economy. When he came in and brought in the twin policies of flotation of the Naira and removal of few subsidies, it was like turbulence, a ship in turbulence, but somehow he was able to stabilize it. A lot of people, including Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, have given him credit for that. But much of the achievements we see today from the administration appear to be centered around the economy. Oh, we have stabilized it, we have done this, we have done that. What of the people? Poverty level, hunger, unemployment. So we see successive governments in Nigeria focus on the economy instead of the people, and that's a great departure from what governance should be. When you focus on the economy, you can point at figures. So GDP is growing, we're expanding, we are bringing down these.
Meanwhile, the ordinary person is
The
not feeling
people, since, was it Shagari that started austerity measure? Every other government after him has brought in some pains and have appealed to citizens to manage for some time. And we may see a whole generation of Nigerians live and die in suffering. Every government will say, just give us time, our reforms will give way for better. It has never come, and I doubt whether it will come, except they change their development trajectory. If you take a look, if you objectively assess the Tinubu administration, for security, he met insecurity in Northwest that, when Buhari came, it flowed from northeast to northwest. With Tinubu now, it has flowed from the northwest to north central and to the southwest. So it speaks volumes as we speak. Students, teachers, principals are in captivity and all that. So if we draw up a tick box, this good, this bad, and that, do it objectively, the answer will be bare for anybody to see.
The carryover from the successive government of the mess in economy, mess in security, dilapidated infrastructure in education, health, roads, electricity. It's not something that even a magician will wake up and give you an answer within a year or two. But commendably, when he removed the subsidy and focused on seeing that the 3 refineries come to work despite the what I call the lies by the previous management of the NNPC that they have kickstarted the refineries, which I still believe do not work, and Dangote refinery is helping. This administration within the past 3 years has made an effort, but I'm telling you, you need multiple 4-year terms to solve all the problems of this country. And the question of insecurity that we are talking about, so long as you have poverty, there's no way you can defeat insecurity.
Well, is it not the responsibility of the president to stop the poverty, to stop the insecurity?
The president cannot stop the poverty if the governors are not on the same page with the president. Just look at the huge amount of money they are collecting as a result of subsidy removal. I mean, the governors. What have they done at the local level, at the local government, in terms of local infrastructure, education, healthcare, skill acquisition, and what have you? There are things that you can do at the local level to kickstart the economy. The farmers, for example, the loans, the dry season farming equipment, the women and traders, skills here and there.
So what you are saying, Mustafa Mohammed, is that the president should sit here in Abuja and wait for the governors and the local government to solve the problem of Nigeria.
The president should sit in Abuja, but call the governors.
Is he calling them?
No, he needs to call them.
Is he calling them? Is there any evidence that the president
I wouldn't
calling
speak,
anybody?
but let me take you back a little.
No, please, let Uju come in, because we don't need to. Is he calling them? I mean, we know what the problem is. Amaechi has clearly put.
I want to give you an example. Let me finish that. When Shagari was the president, the party was involved in the running of the states and even federal policies. The governors were on the same page. And this is exactly where we lost it, because there's no party supremacy. The party doesn't have ideology. They don't tell the president or the governors, these are the problems in the country that we need to solve.
All right, let me hear from Uju.
I don't know about stabilizing the economy, because for me, the free fall of the Naira was a very huge problem. And a huge problem not just for the ordinary Nigerians who had to buy Gari that was 200 Naira for a mudu, suddenly became 1,500, 1,300. I'm looking at it from the ordinary Nigerian out there. And the free fall of the Naira, if you not tell me that the Naira that was about 400 or 350,000 to the dollar when he took over is now 1,300, and you call that stabilizing. I don't know, I'm not an economist, but I believe that a lot of things have gone wrong. Businesses are being strangulated. Businesses are falling. A whole lot of companies have folded up, and some have even left the shores of the country. Beecham and all of them, they have left the country. Things are not what they used to be, and not much from what I can see has been done to rectify most of those things, even to revive the industries. We're talking about unemployment, youth restiveness. What is causing it? A boy finishes school, 5 years later, he can't even get any employment. Meanwhile, we have facilities, we have things that can be done to make the youth gainfully employed.
Uju, beyond what you have said, I'm looking at the picture of those in government. Because even if there's a lot of problems, there are challenges, and you see government trying to solve. But are the leaders living the life of the ordinary people?
They are not.
No, from their lifestyle, you can see that they are insensitive to the plight of the people. I mean, how do you describe a situation where infants, 1 year, 2-year-olds are in captivity, and we are seeing so much fanfare all over the place, so much politicking. You can politic without making it so.
With empathy, actually.
With empathy, God bless you. That's the word that I'm looking at.
the
You can
governors-
politics with do politics with empathy, and at least show that you really care. We're not seeing all of these. The insensitivity is too high, and the kind of lives that they are living. 17 cars in a convoy, 15 cars in a convoy. Sometimes you see 30 cars in a convoy. It's crazy. It's not
Now,
right.
when we say the economy has been stabilized, it's about macroeconomic indices for the economy, interest rate, inflation rate,
The naira value and
yes, the currency rate and all that. These are the ones that are stable. The life of Nigerians have been I say turbulence. We just like a plane in turbulence. And another key thing is that the president is the one that implemented the policies. Removal of fifth subsidy, flotation of the currency. And what we are hearing now is go and hold your governors responsible. The governors didn't do it. You did it. So you still collect the greatest percentage of our resources, 52%. But there's beyond that, there's an opportunity for the president, the federal government, to, in concert with the states, have a common ground for common solutions to our common problem. There are so many platforms that exist. National Economic Council, National Commission on this, National Council on this. So it's left for those at the center to be at the driver's seat, get the governors together, and they move
I
rather
don't-
than shifting the block. I see a deliberate shifting of the block to the state.
I don't believe for once that anybody, like what Mustafa said, the governors actually have a problem. I don't want to cover them
Even
up here.
the
that
local-
they don't have the local
councils.
government. The people are not feeling it. But the buck stops on the president's table. Is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and commander-in-chief. If we are talking of economic indices, we are looking at how unemployment and everything is going. What about insecurity? The governors are not in control of security. They are just by name chief security officers of their state. They don't control the IG. They don't control anybody in the army. They just probably will pass information to the president. They pass information to the president, and then probably there's little that it is the president and commander-in-chief that should sit down on his desk and take policy measures or take decisions that will make everybody, like I saw a lady shouting on the internet yesterday and asking her fellow woman, Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, how do you sleep? Do you sleep on the same bed with the president? I mean, you guys can sleep when we have people who have been adopted all over the country.
Children.
Nobody said they should not sleep, but you see,
They should
there's
lose
an
sleep.
empathy.
They should.
There's
That's
an
what they
empathy.
swore to do, to protect lives. So
you
they
see,
should lose sleep.
It's all coming back to some of the issues I've mentioned, the inherited insecurity. But fundamentally, there are two things we need to work with. We know the statistics of how the population in the country is increasing. What are our projections? Those between the ages of 16 to 32, 35 in the next 10 years, how many are we going to have? We have all seen the pictures of the thugs carrying sticks, daggers, and whatever in Kano. That there, even yesterday they robbed Beirut Road, one of the GSM markets in Kano. In all the state capitals, we have youth who are unemployed. Some are unemployable. 90% of them don't have a skill. How do you tackle insecurity when you have youth that you never planned for? The big men will enjoy government facilities, static cars in the convoy, traveling to London for every headache and whatever, taking their girlfriends and friends to Jerusalem and Mecca with public money. Do they come to power without blueprint? It all comes down to who manages those at the grassroots.
Everybody, Mustafa, people have talked about restructuring. And I can remember that the APCs, the number one item on the manifesto of the APC then in 2015 was restructuring. They said they will restructure
Fiscal
Nigeria.
federalism.
Now, everybody knows Orosaye report. You don't need any definition. By the time Orosaye report came out, we had less than 500 MDAs, ministries, departments, and agencies. Now there are over 1,000. Now, we came with some hand gloves and soft ones,
Arithmetic.
with Vaseline and rub all over. We started to create more. We are creating more. We are making government bogus. We are creating more offices. We are making appointments. And you have a president that sits down and once somebody wants to tell me that the state government, the local government is not, they are taking money, they are not doing it. And we have a president in Abuja that is seeing to this proliferation of office, duplication of offices all over the place with plenty of money going to them. They are spending money and they are living large and living ostentatiously, and the people are suffering.
Ohiria, during the 1960s to 60s, who was talking about the man in Abuja? Who was holding him to account?
Nobody.
The pressure was on Awolowo in the southwest.
Yes.
The pressure was on M.I. Opera in the southeast. The pressure was on the
Sardona of
Sokoto. To the extent that the man that was there, who was supposed to be at the center, said, no, go, I will stay behind. So if you want me to hold my governor and local government responsible, you remove all the 64 items on the exclusive list, or majority of them, say 55 of them, and leave only 7 or 6. Then push them to the residual
And push
list.
more money down.
And I'll go and hold them responsible. I'll put you sleep peacefully. You just be receiving foreign heads of state in state
But
visit. While they are doing the work, and I'll put the pressure on them.
But the truth is that even the ones that they are getting, we are not seeing them channel it to anything to profit the people. Apart
Because
from their
nobody is
own
holding them
personal
accountable.
interest.
They are buying houses in
Nobody is
Abuja and
the
other
local
places in
governments.
Nigeria.
They've been getting money
Look at
too.
the estates springing up. Public servants own them. Bauer at the EFCC said he was going to start probing where the estate owners are getting money to build oil.
Yes,
Who
they
does
are
not know?
empty.
No problem,
Nobody's
they
living
kick
in
him
them.
out. So if you are asking of where they are putting this money, these monies are all in these lands, hotels, plazas, private houses in Maitama, Afokoro.
And foreign trips.
And foreign trips, yes. They carry out dollars. Go to Dubai and see what Nigerians
the
are.
bottom line.
The problem is that despite the fact that Nigerians, most of them are homeless, they can't afford, proper housing. These estates are all empty. Go round and check. 80% of them are empty. Nobody is living there, and Nigerians are sleeping.
Yes, and
in funny places.
the bottom line is very clear. We have a country that is run by democracy. We should structure Nigeria to make it functional. The way Nigeria is now, it is structured to fail, and there's no magic that can happen. Nigeria is structured to continue in the failure that is on. I wrote an article about 5, 6, 7 years ago and said Nigeria is running on the wrong road. We are running very fast on the wrong road. The wrong road littered with all the challenges that we have. And we have somebody who emerged from the pro-democracy struggle as president, and we are all saying that we should just wait and see how they are telling us stories every day, and we cannot say the way it is, then we are just all jokers. Complete jokers. Please,
He too said it the way he saw it at the time when he was one of the agitators.
For a very long time, Nigerians have been singing the song of restructuring. I've always asked this question. If you're going to restructure Nigeria, the word restructuring, is it the geography? Is it the economy? Is it the politics? Is it the agriculture? We actually need a blueprint. Is it the resource control in the economy? If we don't have the blueprint, most people are talking about the structure, the geography. These people want to have this, that people want to have that.
If we take this topic today, we probably will
Not
not
do any
do that thing. But let's just leave it here. There's an opportunity to always talk about it, and because we have our guests in the house, we're going to be talking about the NDC and their primaries today. Does it have the answer to Nigeria's problem? What do people believe can happen? Because we have opportunity. We are working towards another election. If you do not like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, can you express it with your vote? If you like him and you think he's doing well, he needs more time, can you express it with your vote? A situation where we all stay aloof and we just say the thing is bad, we don't have anything, that is what makes the things to grow. But let's take a break. And OSAD director, Comrade, I call him, will join us. Is the National Publicity Secretary of the NDC. He will be joining us on the other side of this break to examine what is happening, the hope that the different political parties, including the NDC, has for the coming elections. Please don't go away. Stay with us on Political Platform.
TerraQ, unwrap joy, unleash taste.
Hukumar zaɓe ta ƙasa wato INEC za ta ci gaba da yin rajistar masu kaɗa ƙuri'a a zango na uku kuma karo na ƙarshe. Daga ran Litinin 11 ga watan Mai zuwa Juma'a 10 ga watan Julai 2026. Kofa a buɗe take ga waɗanda ba su sami rajista ba a wancan karan kafin a dakatar. Ko kuma a'a daga wannan lokacin da aka dakatar zuwa yanzu waɗanda suka cika shekara 18 don su je su yi rajistar katin zaɓe. Masu niyya sai su garzaya pejin INEC na yanar gizo wato www.cvr.inecnigeria.org domin fara yin rajista. Daga nan sai su je ofishin INEC na jiha ko karamar hukuma domin ɗaukan hoton yatsansu da kuma fuska. In kuma kuna so za ku iya zuwa ofishin INEC na jiha ko na karamar hukuma kai tsaye don yin rajista. Idan bata ko lalacewa katin ka yi kar ka yi rajista. Ka shiga shafin INEC na yanar gizo ko ka je ofishin su na jiha ko karamar hukuma domin neman a baka sabon kati. Haka zalika za ka iya canja bayanan da ke kan katinka a tsawon wannan lokacin. Kada ku manta masu katin zaɓe ne kaɗai suke iya taka rawa ranar zaɓe. Ku yi rajista.
Wannan saƙo ne daga hukumar zaɓe.
Thank you for remaining with us on Political Platform. Now, the windows opened. They say it is still open until if INEC gets a stay of the judgment that was delivered or a judgment is delivered by the Court of Appeal to upturn. That is, for now, I suppose people will put it, it's a time for the transfer window, and they are open. But Omo Agege, the former deputy deputy president of the Senate, jumped yesterday. We have heard Patani also jumped. We are hearing that one of the former inspector generals of police in Nasarawa State is waiting. I don't know if the NDC is locking the door. It is APM or it is APC that he wants to, I don't know what, but the window is opened. Are we going to be expecting more open with you? Are we expecting more? Are they both?
I would like to think that we should expect more because Omagege is one person who is so passionate and strong about his feelings, to be in government. And he has taken that step. And there are a lot of people like him. I won't really think that about Ned. Ned is somehow gentlemanly in his ways and in his emotions. So, but I know that there are several other persons.
If Ned moves,
yes,
Delta State will be in trouble.
I don't think so.
No, because if you have a city senator and a former deputy president of the Senate who is also you cannot discount his influence.
No, of course. But he's not the aggressive kind of politician. He doesn't know how to do the gra-gra that Nigerian politics demand.
How do you feel your party accommodating? Ned may not enjoy the grassroots support Omoma Agege enjoys. Left Omoma Agege, if you ask me, he would have wanted to remain. But it's his people that insisted. Because he's in touch with them. It's his people. There's some peculiar politics within that senatorial zone among the robos. They're his people, his own side are a majority, and they feel shortchanged. So I can imagine the pressure on him.
All right.
Move.
And
you
his
have
father's
to
good will.
All right. We know that one of the very political parties, many of them will want to jump to. I don't know if it's a Peter Obi factor or it's the NDC. I don't know if it is the countryman Siriake DC factor. But we have the National Publicity Secretary of the NDC. They are holding their primaries today. OFSA director, our colleagues, a journalist who turned a lawyer, and is now back fully in politics. Let me allow Mustafa Mohammed to fire the first question.
A lot of people are planning to jump into your party. Do you foresee a conflict between those who are entrenched in the party and the ambition of those who are just coming in?
That's normal in politics. For those who have been there and have certain ambition to fulfill or to realize, they will naturally feel threatened. by the new ones coming with their kind of heavyweight and all that. But we are a party of innovation that preaches inclusivity and internal democracy. And that's why we are conducting primaries. If you come in, whether you are coming today, you are going to be given the same chance and opportunity and enablement to participate. And if you win, so be it, to become the candidate.
If
of
I
the
join
party.
this morning, I can still participate in the party.
Yes, if you have collected the forms and follow all the necessary protocol. But I think by now, that has closed for now until we know the direction of the judgment of the Federal High Court. Because like you rightly stated, there's no stay of execution. Once there's no stay of execution, it means things can go on. And except there's also a verdict or a judgment from an appeal court. And that will now take effect from the day of that judgment. Pending that, anybody, the transfer window, like you said, using your...
Do you have a manifesto? Because Bayo Onanuga said he went through your website and couldn't see any. Perhaps suggesting that you're directionless. You're just opening your doors and window for anybody that is
the manifesto
to come in. Have you designed your... Because we talked about APC manifesto and said they failed to implement the restructuring they promised. What is your covenant with Nigerians? Do you have it yet?
Certainly we have a manifesto. You know, in politics, there's this big bass and back and forth with the opposition. I mean, everybody want to emphasize on his strength and project the weaknesses of their opponent. We are not apologetic about the fact that he went there and as he claimed that he didn't see the manifesto. It depends on when he went in. We are talking of a party.
Is the manifesto on your website?
Yes, we are talking of a party that is just 3 months old. What we are doing is practically, because we are a party of innovation, a party committed to taking Nigeria to the next level, not the level of the APC. And we are driven and led by a man who is a seasoned politician. People don't realize that His Excellency Distinguished Senator Seraki Disin is one of the most experienced and dedicated politicians of his generation. And he has experience across the board, the 3 arms of government. You know, this was a guy who was a Commissioner of Justice and Attorney General, a trained lawyer. He was in the House of Reps. He was a 2-time governor of Bayelsa State, and now 2 times serving the 2nd term as a distinguished senator. Tell me any member of his generation in this time that is more vastly experienced.
So what's the thrust of your manifesto?
Yeah. Our manifestos are 1, the issue of security, the issue of foreign policy. We said our foreign policy is anchored on Pan-Africanism, with Nigeria on the driver's seat, catalyzing and galvanizing economic integration and political development, being at the forefront of providing leadership for the African continent. You know, a lot of people have criticized Nigerians that, you go to ECOWAS, through ECOMOG, you intervene in Liberia, you did the things, and you left. You didn't, there was no...
consolidation.
And even the same thing in Liberia, Sierra Leone. But you can see the intervention of America in countries. It was even openly discussed when Trump was saying, sign your mineral stuff. To me, he was telling Zelensky, but we don't do that on the African continent as leaders. So those are the things we are going to address. I
think Nigerians will want to know what pertains to them in your manifesto, because that's what we have been talking about since. Yes. That what governance has always been about is policy, government, governance, and the people are not centered. It's the NDC trading in the African continent, and it's not trading.
No, I will just talk about the foreign policy.
Okay.
Foreign policy direction. We are addressing, of course, you know that our presidential candidate, because we are doing affirmation, Gregory Peter Obi, His Excellency, has always been emphasizing on an economy that is centered on production. Before he even came to our party, that's why I said people should go and read. That was our driving policy, our cardinal policy, our pivotal policy, that we want a productive economy whereby equal opportunities are provided to everyone, irrespective of your gender, irrespective of your sex, your tribe or religion. A situation where government provides an enabling, a definite policy that everybody can see and cue to, not a president making statements that are not policy direction, which is not in the speech he was meant to read. I remove subsidy is gone. And without having what I call a team of experts that must have assessed and analyzed what are going to be the implications of removing subsidies.
You have seen the level of insecurity in the land.
Yes.
I mean, with Buhari, no, with Goodluck Jonathan, we saw it had not escalated much. And then with Buhari, we saw it escalated beyond one zone. Now, the thing is in about 4 different zones. And of course, in some other parts of the country. What would you do differently to contain this cankerworm? Because Nigerians from the north, south, east, and west can virtually not sleep or travel or move, do their businesses just like they should.
You know the truth? Insecurity has become big business. You and I know it. We can easily solve these things, but our leaders lack the political will. And like the saying goes, statesmen think of the next generation, but politicians think of the next election. The politicians we have had now, APC, they're always thinking of the next election. We know how to solve this insecurity, even the APC government, but compromises here and there just to ensure that they win the next election is what is preventing us from solving the problem of insecurity. I can tell you that as election is getting close now, you will see a change in the level of security. That is, APC will rise up to challenge and plug the necessary loopholes so that you will have a semblance of stability and security in the country and can say, okay, yeah.
But I've also, sorry, please. I've also heard that it's in the media that what is happening is that the opposition people are also the one causing the insecurity because of the elections.
Yeah.
And that the elections are heightened. Of course, we have it on record that before the Buhari administration came in, some individuals actually said they brought in some people from abroad to come and heighten this security so that Jonathan can be driven out. So the government and some of the officials are also alluding to the insecurity being perpetrated by the opposition in order to discourage people to make this government look bad so that they can drive them away from office. But you are saying the opposite.
That is a statement of helplessness from the presidency to insist that the opposition is the one stoking insecurity, in the sense that you have all the paraphernalia of office to stem the tide. Even the president said it.
Yeah, the president
said it.
Talking about when Goodluck Jonathan was the president, one of the issues President Buhari and APC rode on as a horse to get to the presidency is the issue of insecurity. And when they came in, they did some cosmetic jobs under for some time. And then you couldn't hear anything again. Insecurity increased. Are you sure the NDC is not doing the same thing, using security as a platform for campaign?
No, the NDC is not going to do the same thing because we are a party that is promising to be different. And we have shown that in the way we have conducted ourselves so far. And we said that we are a party of innovation. And like I told you, you have a political party that has a national leader. Since the formation of APC, they have not been able to constitute their board of trustees.
Now, you talked about a national leader, and that's what some people have said, it appears this party revolves around this national leader. Sometimes they are saying, you don't even have a secretariat in Abuja, it's right there in his sitting room. That everything is conducted. We see pictures receiving the campaigns, meetings in his sitting room. Is this centered around countryman, former governor of Bayelsa and current Senator Dixon? Is it centered around him, or is the party much more than him?
The party is bigger than any person, but you cannot deny the fact that he's the founder and leader of the party, and he has to produce a direction for the party. And don't also forget the way and manner the government is muzzling opposition. You have to provide a counter narrative to be able to tackle them. And that is why I'm a guerrilla journalist. So we are playing guerrilla politics.
Will you be surprised?
You need to explain, Mustafa.
Let him explain what he means by guerrilla tactics.
Because you said that everything is in the house of the national leader.
Yes, his sitting room.
Yeah. One, that is not entirely true because we have a national secretariat in Wuse too, and that some strategic decisions are taken in the house of the national leader is for strategic reasons. We feel safer, we feel more secured, we feel more covered.
You are sure that the place is
The
not
question-
bulb?
Yeah,
You
we
are
are
sure
sure
the
that the place is not bought. And we know that we don't have most there.
What I'm trying to ask is, we've seen various elections. And
That's
there were so many members of the opposition whose parties would lose, and they end up joining the ruling party, even collecting, accepting ministerial appointment and what have you. Seriake Dixon, if your party doesn't win, should we expect that he should join the APC?
I think you should have been watching, or you must have watched closely the political trajectory of Seriake Dixon. Seriake Dixon is one of the most consistent and pro-people politician of his generation. Why do I say this? He has been a member of the People's Democratic Party since its session. And when it was fashionable for everyone to be decamping to the ruling party, the All Progressive Congress under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Seriake Dixon, on principle, was one of the few, alongside people like Ejina Baribe, who refused to decamp until the PDP engaged in self-immolation and practically no longer existing. It is not an act of courage for a man to remain in a sinking ship when he has an opportunity to escape. And that is why, instead of going to the APC, he founded the Nigerian Democratic Congress, knowing that he even has some limitation in terms of driving and financing it. But he said, no, I'm not going to the APC. He founded National Democratic Congress. Today, Seriake Dixon is referred to as the man who saw tomorrow in Nigerian politics.
Okay,
Because
let's
direction.
go ahead and answer.
Yes, you brought a new angle to nomination forms, and you said after the aspirants have
Being nominated.
been nominated, then they cannot pay, but not before then, unlike other political parties. Why? And do you not foresee a fresh problem arising from your decision?
No, that is even one of the reasons that the NDC should be commended as a party that is creative and wants to be different from others, no longer business as usual. You find out that people accuse us that, some people were asked to donate money to the party, the aspirants and all the rest. Now, the truth is that political parties need finance to run. And most of these political parties literally exploit or put aspirants under pressure. You pay for expression of interest form and you pay for nomination form. And at the end of the day, only one person is going to be choosing. But we decide to be different. Okay, buy your expression of interest form. We cleared everybody, go and contest. It's only the person that will not pay nomination.
All right, we have actually commended yesterday we did a lot of commendation.
Thank you very much for that.
For this step. But just lastly, and just if you can answer within the 30 seconds or so, is the NDC ready for the kind of attention that Peter Obi garners? Like what happened in 2023, is the NDC as a party ready to have the organic followership of Peter Obi into his fold? Are they ready?
We are overready. We are overready. And it's not just the attention of Peter Obi. We also have the attention of the Kwankwasia movement. And we also have the attention of Seriake Dixon, who is a leader in the South-South. So what we want to do is that in a political party, you must have various tendencies. We are harmonizing, and we are going to produce a cohesive political party and promote the brand, which is in NDC, and not that of an individual. And I'm happy that His Excellency Peter Obi and Rabi Musa Kwankwaso are in agreement with this direction of the NDC.
Yeah, the National Publicity Secretary of the NDC, OSA Director, has been spending time with us. We want to thank you for joining us on the program. We appreciate you. And maybe after the primaries today, we'll have opportunity to come back and share with us all the things that are up. At least with the elections coming, we should be having you more frequently here, just as we also have other political parties join us. Thank you so much for being part of the program.
Thanks for having me. It was nice seeing all of you guys with your gray hair now.
Now, let's take our mails. We'll take our mails now, and then we'll wrap up as fast as possible.
Emmanuel from Abuja says, I'm just thinking loudly that for Tinubu to promise passionately to fix electricity and fail, there must be a group of powerful, untouchable individuals in this country whose words are law. I'm beginning to feel that unless these individuals are handled with by a dogged president, Nigeria will not move forward. Can you imagine the vigor with which President Tinubu started? He was almost talking fortnightly when he started, that he would rush back to his office and do more work. All these have vanished. With the optics, he may win second term. And if he fails this time around, it is only divine intervention that is left. God bless Nigeria. And Franklin from Ukwoji in Imo State sent our next mail. He says, I heard the guests on the show accuse the INEC of assuming the role of interpreting the judgment of the court instead of leaving it to the Court of Appeal. I find that quite unsettling. If INEC is joined in a suit, which it also has to implement, especially as an umpire, should they not interpret what it would implement? Is it not part of the duties of INEC's legal department to interpret judgments of the court that are binding on the commission? Why do people attack INEC when it does what it should do? Why do commentators seek to score cheap points by throwing stones on the commission, even when it has no guilt?
There's always a poor guy. Emmanuel Toti from Buhari in the Federal Capital Territory says, what becomes of the nomination of Atiku Abubakar if the ADC eventually loses the pending legal disputes instituted by the Nafiu Bala Gombe faction of the party? Is the faction led by David Mark unaware that another presidential aspirant, Dumebi Kachukwu, also lays claim to the ADC platform? One thing, however, appears increasingly clear from the emerging political calculations within the ADC. Should Atiku survive the serial legal and political hurdles to eventually square up against President Bola Tinubu in 2027, the North may well spearhead a significant protest vote against the ruling party in his favor. The unfolding developments suggest that beyond party structures and courtroom battles, the 2027 contest may ultimately be shaped by regional political sentiments, economic realities, and voter frustration. Eruoto Noel from Yola in Adamawa State says, today will make it exactly 3 years since the death of High Chief Aleo Dropesi was announced. 3 years after, the Dark Communications family continues to soar to the higher levels, keeping his legacies alive. I believe he'll be very proud of the team wherever he is. May God bless you all richly for the good work. Here's wishing the staff and management of this great company the fortitude to continue to bear the loss of their great founder, and may the soul of Raymond Aleo Dropesi and the faithful continue to rest in peace. Amen.
And I say amen to that too. And that's how we are going to be wrapping up the program this morning. Please keep your mails coming to us, politicalplatform@darkgroup.com. On behalf of my colleagues, on the other side of the weekend, we'll see on the program again. And Okiria Agbonsuremi.